Good Friday evening, Southeast Texas. Hope you're doing well. We're going to spend the next 15 minutes taking a detailed look at the forecast coming up over the next 7 days. Be able to share with you things that I'm not able to do during a weather cast because of the limitations of time. But with 15 minutes, I think we can do that. And we'll also take your questions if you have any. So right now, things are pretty quiet across the area. Most of the shower and thunderstorm activity is dissipated for the day. A few showers and thunder showers up in towards Tyler County. And as you can see, some leftover clouds up over towards Pervalis up in Jasper. Notice how the clouds are kind of striated rather than building up. So things, well, a little bit of build up off towards the east. So pretty much winding down, things stabilizing over the area this evening. We do expect a scattering of showers and thunderstorms both days this weekend. Maybe at times some spots could see a little bit better than a scattering, maybe numerous showers and thunderstorms. I mean, again, scattering is anywhere between a 30 to 50% coverage. Once you get to a 60% coverage, it becomes numerous. After that, Monday's our transition day to a much hotter, drier forecast as we head towards next week. In your allergy report, let's see, weed pollen and grass pollen at moderate levels today, and mold now up to moderate levels across Southeast Texas. And our forecast for the Triangle tomorrow, we'll go with about a 40% coverage of showers and storms, as we've seen time after time after time this last week. Most of the activity has been north of the Triangle as the sea breeze starts in the Triangle and then really starts cranking once it gets north of I-10. And that's why the inland Southeast Texas area and also the lakes area have seen better chances and coverages. So modeling has higher chances. No, it's back down to a 40% coverage. I'm not agreeing with these numbers. We're going to go with about 91, 92 tomorrow. I think that's a little too warm. So again, I'm showing you my forecast and then what modeling is putting out. And for tomorrow, we'll go about 93, 50, maybe 60% coverage of mid and late afternoon shower and thunderstorm activity expected up in the lakes area. Again, the activity will be coming from the south and moving north through the day. See what modeling shows. It shows highs of 95 and about a 60% coverage. So that's not bad. Pretty close to what we were thinking as far as things go coming up for your Saturday. Otherwise, as far as afternoon high temperatures, well, here's the story. Showers and thunderstorms will kind of limit high temperatures down into the lower 90s. Now, as we work on into, say, the middle and latter part of next week, high pressure will be building into the area. That means high temperatures even here in the Triangle will likely get into the mid-90s, could be a 97, 98 up in the lakes area as we head towards Friday of next week. As far as rain chances, we're going to look at moisture in the atmosphere. So we're going to assume that it's always moist here at the surface. You want to look at, say, 5,000 and 10,000 feet. Again, 10,000 feet is the sweet spot for really producing good coverages of shower and thunderstorm activity. And today, we were kind of in between there, not quite moist, not quite dry. So that's why we got about a 20 to 30% coverage here in the Triangle. So tomorrow, I think we'll see a better chance, more favorable winds aloft, and still decent moisture to produce at least a scattering of showers and thunderstorms both days. Now, as we work on into Monday, Tuesday, look at that. We really start drying out in the mid-levels of the atmosphere. Very dry air. See how the legend shows that very dry air? It's hard to make clouds, and it's hard to produce shower and thunderstorm activity. And we also start drying out the 5,000-foot layer. So again, Wednesday and Thursday looking like our best days for little, if any, chance of shower and thunderstorm activity. Then Friday of next week, sorry, I can't go nothing as far as that goes. The flow around high pressure may direct moisture our way from Louisiana. So we'll go with 10 to 20% coverage Friday afternoon. And if they're moving into our area from the east and we're in the mid-90s, they're going to produce a lot of lightning. But that's a low chance at this far juncture. Otherwise, as far as rain chances, here in the Triangle, we'll go the 40% coverage Saturday, 30% coverage on Sunday. And again, Monday is the transition day to a hot, dry, mainly dry forecast as we head towards Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And again, we'll keep it at a low 20% coverage as we get more information and look at more model data, and it becomes a little more clear and a little more confident, then we'll go with higher chances. But the flow around that high would direct anything out of Louisiana our way. The limiting factor right now is how strong the winds are around that high out of the east. And this all makes sense here in just a minute. Otherwise, as I show you the next series of graphics, we're going to take a quick look at across our area with what's left over from today's convection. And as you can see, quite a bit of cloudiness up towards northern Hardin County, Jasper, Newton, and also Tyler counties. And we're seeing a little bit of sun here in the Triangle, very limited shower and thunderstorm activity here in the Triangle. And again, this is the heaviest activity north of Cominil and also heading towards San Rayburn and north of Danby. Rain's moving out of Spurger. A few showers heading in towards, say, Jasper and maybe Kirbyville, as these are headed off towards the north and east at the present time. It's very isolated activity just north of Mauriceville, and I think we're pretty much done for tonight here in the Triangle. Otherwise, across the state, very interesting. You can see how the sea breeze, look at how far that sea breeze, there it is right about there, that's the sea breeze. So it's made it all the way from the coast that far inland. That's a pretty good sea breeze for today. And that's what caused the shower and thunderstorm activity across our area. Now, I've seen sea breezes go all the way into Oklahoma before, so that's something interesting. But this is what keeps our area so green. We get some of the highest rainfall totals through the year right here in southeast Texas, and that's why we're so green compared to the rest of the state. Otherwise, they're seeing lots of sun over northwest Texas, and that's why they're well into the 90s out that way. So as we head on into the next few days, we're seeing that weakness over northwest Texas, so maybe a little better chance of rain and thunderstorms up that way later this week. So as you can see, we're pretty much done tonight. I think we'll see maybe the mid-70s in the lakes, and then for the Triangle tomorrow morning, we should see into the mid to upper 70s and lower 80s. What we expect is a similar day. Moisture levels are about the same, so we expect a sea breeze to form and work towards the north as we go into the afternoon hours, with the best coverages from inland southeast Texas to the lakes area, mainly north of the Triangle. So just accordingly, earlier inland southeast Texas, later up in the lakes area, as this will be working off towards the north. That's where the weather will be coming from, straight off the Gulf. Otherwise, we do expect lower chances as we work on into, say, Sunday and especially Monday. So right now, you can see where the deepest moisture is, mainly north of the Triangle, and that's where we saw the best coverage of shower and thunderstorm activity. We also have a weakness over the state. We've got high pressure, this is what the red is, off towards the southwest, and high pressure off to the south and east. The weakness is over the state, and that is helping to produce the active sea breeze. Tomorrow, you can see a little bit better amounts of green right there. Look at that. Green over our area, 59% relative humidity at 10,000 feet, and that is enough to produce scattered showers and thunderstorms. Again, we track moisture because clouds need moisture. If they're building up at the lower levels at about, say 6,000 feet, they begin building. And in order to allow them to continue to build, they need a moist level at 10,000 feet. That's the sweet spot to where you can start producing showers and or thunderstorms. Because after that, if you don't have that moisture in place, then you're not going to get that shower and thunderstorm activity. So that's why we track it this time of year especially. Now Monday, or I should say Sunday, still got pretty good moisture, particularly up in the lakes area. 51% here in the Triangle. That's good enough to produce a scattering of shower and thunderstorm activity. As we work on in, and you can see a trough of low pressure. Look at the winds moving south here. We still have that weakness, and they're off to the southwest off there. So there seems to be kind of a weakness in the upper levels of the atmosphere across central Texas, and that's why there's probably going to be a better chance of shower and thunderstorm activity later this week there, or this weekend, I should say. Now, as we head towards Monday, see all this red? That is upper level high pressure. It's ridging into our area. Notice the greens starting to move out of the picture as the atmosphere dries. Look at the humidity dropping, drying. It's what high pressure does. It basically causes sinking air, and that's what all this gray and brown is. Much drier air moving into the area as we work on in to, say, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Now the question is the flow around the high, see the high? This is the high. Is it a clockwise flow? That's how the winds circulate around the high. And as you can see, 65%, that's a good piece amount of energy, may try to rotate in from the east depending upon how fast the winds are along the coastline. So if any thunderstorm activity develops maybe over towards Baton Rouge or Lafayette, then it would be directed into southeast Texas. And if we're in the mid-90s, then that sneak attack from the east, because that's not normal, we've seen it before, but it's not typical for this time of year, is that would be moving into a very unstable area over our area coming up as we head towards next Friday. Mid-90s, those would produce a lot of thunderstorm activity. This is just subjective analysis, and again, it may not see that, but it's something to keep on the back burner as far as the forecast goes. Regardless, it's going to get hot across Texas with all that dry air, sinking air, lots of sun, and mainly dry weather conditions. Otherwise, in the tropics, looking at the European ensembles, the GFS ensembles, I just don't see anything through the next 7 to 10 days in the Southwest Atlantic, the Gulf, or the Caribbean. Now, the GFS single run model, which has a notoriously tries to develop stuff, is trying to do something in the Eastern Gulf. We're not buying that. We're going to throw that out because the ensembles do not show that. So it looks like quiet weather expected through the next 7 days. So on the Gulf tomorrow, looking at, slightly choppy seas around 2 to 3 feet and a south wind at 10 to 15 knots. High tides tomorrow at Sabine Pass. If you're going fishing at 6:27 a.m. and 2:34 p.m. So our forecast is showing things winding down over the next hour or so. 7:30, we should be done with pretty much everything. Could be close to 82, 83 in Port Arthur in the morning. 78 in Beaumont, 77 in Orange, Mid-County 78. Pretty warm morning overnight, and then as you can see, lower and middle 70s up in the lakes area as skies become mostly clear. Tomorrow, again, depending upon where you are, 40 to maybe as much as a 60% coverage. We're going to go with the lower 90s. This is a bottom line type graphic, and it shows heat indices around the triple digits with very high and extreme level as far as the UV index, and we're looking at winds out of the south and southeast at 3 to 12 miles an hour. Tomorrow, if you're headed up to the lakes area, we'll go with a 50, maybe 60% coverage of showers and thunderstorms after about 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. They'll be coming in from the south. We'll go partly sunny and highs in the lower 90s and a south wind. Good luck to you if you're doing some fishing. Tomorrow, we'll go with a 40% coverage here in the Triangle, partly sunny skies, and maybe a 60% coverage inland southeast Texas. Again, inland southeast Texas. As you can see, it's not the lakes, it's not the Triangle, and that's why we're going to go with that in through Buna, Silsbee, Evadale, Lumberton, and Kuntz and Sour Lake. About a 60% coverage there. 50% coverage up in the lakes area with highs in the lower 90s. Taking a look at that heat index tomorrow, it looks like ahead of the showers and storms could see triple digits. So again, if you're going to be pushing that lawnmower or soaking up what limited sun we're going to see tomorrow, be sure you keep hydrated. Otherwise, over the next 7 days, looking at here in the Triangle, about a 40% coverage, high near 91, 30% coverage on Sunday, starting to dry out on Monday. The atmosphere dries out. We'll see more sun, fewer showers and storms, maybe inching upwards around 92, 93 on Monday. Tuesday, that high begins building on in. Can't go no rain, especially Tuesday and Thursday, because there's no cap, but there's not a lot of moisture either. So probably won't see anything Tuesday and Thursday, but we'll go with just a very isolated late day shower. Otherwise, look at those highs creeping upwards into the mid 90s. And again, Friday, something could come in from the east. I'm not going to go above a 20% coverage this far out, but as you can see, every day over the next 7, we should be